plaintiff, Marie Bannister, says her daughter dated the defendant. And after her daughter became pregnant with twins, the defendant moved into her home. Marie's suing because she claims the defendant keyed her car and put sugar in her gas tank. Defendant Brandon Bowling says after he discovered Marie's daughter was pregnant with his twins, he stepped up to the plate and wanted to be in their lives. Brandon denies vandalizing Marie's car.
All right, start with you.
Your Honor, the defendant and my daughter was dating back in 2011. Shortly after that, she became pregnant. Brandon moved in, and I didn't realize I was going to be raising another child in the house.
Was he working?
He was working at Panera Bread a couple of days a week at the time.
Did you ask him maybe he should try and get more hours or a second job?
I did.
Oh, what did he say?
He was trying to get more hours. He ended up getting more hours. But to me, you get ready to have babies, twins. That wasn't enough.
If he's doing the best he can, though, if he's working, trying to get more hours.
But Your Honor, when I would ask him what was the game plan that they had, it wasn't no game plan. For the most part, all I would get out of him is, I'm gonna make it do what it do. I'm gonna make it do what it do. I'm like, what is that?
Okay. So you moved him in, and what was that like? You say you didn't know you were taking care of another baby.
Well, because at first he started out cleaning, helping out with my daughter, other children. You know, I was like, wow, okay, maybe this is going somewhere. Your
daughter had other children?
Yes.
How many?
She had 3 at the time.
All right. And this was going to make 5?
Yes.
At what age?
20, at the time she was 23.
Okay, 5 children, 23. Go ahead.
All of a sudden, a couple of months later, everything starts slacking up. I start seeing a change. I just sat back and quietly watched. Tried to talk to my daughter. She didn't want to hear what I had to say, thinking that I was being mean and nasty. I'm like, I'm not being mean and nasty. I'm trying to protect you and everything. It's not going to work between you two.
Protect her from what?
The fact that it's not going to work. She's going to be left, having to take care of all her kids.
What made you think that?
Because his demeanor changed. Everything started switching up. And that's what I was waiting for to happen.
Let me hear from you, sir.
As you may know, the hardest thing a man will ever have to do in his life is please a woman. I walked into a situation.
No, I don't know that.
I'm just being honest with you.
No.
I'm just being honest with you.
It's very easy for me. You and I, we have different skills,
the hardest
obviously.
thing.
Go ahead.
You might have to write a book for me so I can get a couple lessons.
All right.
I walked into a situation where I had to please 7 women. 5 at the time, but there was 2 more coming. It's 4 generations of women in that house, and all of them are the same. They're nagging, fussing. Nothing's ever right for them. As she stated, I was working 1 job 2 days a week when I first moved in there. By the time I left, I was working 3 jobs, 7 days a week.
There you go. So you did as I thought you should
I did everything I could, yo. There's a lot of men out here who run from their kids.
That's right.
I stepped up to the plate.
That's right.
No matter what her daughter and I went through, I stuck it through. I did everything.
Did he have 3 jobs by the time he moved?
He did. And shortly after that,
yeah, she wanted you to clean and cook.
No, I didn't want him to clean and cook.
You said he used to, but then he slacked up.
Right, he started that on his own.
I know.
He was in school for automotive. I was trying to push both of them.
So he was in school too, 3 jobs and in school.
No, he wasn't in school at the time. He only had 2 months to finish school, which I kept asking him, why don't you go back to school? Coming to find out, he had to go and register to get back into school. I'm like, that's not what you told me.
Your Honor, may I address that? When her and our daughter met, we was in school. We went.
She's suing you about car damages, but let's finish with this. Go ahead.
No problem.
When you all met, you were both in school.
We were in school. We went through our little things, had a tussle. We fell off for a little bit, then we came back. Whole time I was in school. When she let me know that the kids were mine, that's when I started thinking long term. I'm like, I can't really sit in school and lose 28 hours out of a week, which equivalates to about 56 in a pay period, to be able to take care of my kids. This is my responsibility. I laid down and did this. I have to take care of it. So I chose to remove myself from school in order to pursue.
Or delay it, hopefully.
Yes,
All
sir.
you do is delay
Yes,
when you
just
have
delay.
a child. Because some young people think that their life is forever ruined when they have a child in their early years before getting the skills and the training that they need. But you can always go back. So
Yes, sir.
children aren't a mistake. They're just a delay sometimes.
Defendant Brandon Bowling is being sued by his ex-girlfriend's mother, who claims Brandon keyed her vehicle and put sugar in her gas tank.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. At that point, I had started working. I was working at Panera Bread the entire time while I was going to school.
Okay.
Once I moved up there in November, they asked me to move up there, and I moved up there with the best intentions.
No, I did not ask you to move
The
there. I
fact
was
is,
against that.
you were there and you had 3 jobs. Why did you end up moving?
Oh, I ended up moving out because things just got too stressful.
Tell me how.
I'm fussing with her. I'm fussing
About
with
what?
everything, about the house, about what we were going to do. As she said, she
How
asked
long were
me
you there working 3 jobs?
about 2 months.
All right, so 2 months, she was still fussing those 2 months?
Yes, sir.
About you not cooking and cleaning or making some other contribution?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ma'am, you gave him a hard time for the 2 months she
No,
was
I
working
did not,
three
Your Honor.
3 jobs?
No, I was on their side. I was trying to push him and my daughter
For
to
the 2
finish their
months that he
school.
was working 3 jobs, you didn't have a problem with him?
I had a problem with him being there.
Okay, good enough. You're the one inviting him. Let's
No, I
start.
did
Well, you
not.
let him move in the first
did
place.
not.
Who let him move
My
in?
mother and my daughter.
Whose house is it?
My mother's.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have nothing to say. It ain't even your house. You got a lot of nerve. Come on, let's get to these car damages. You talking big like you didn't move this young man in my house. I want him out. Hey, it don't work. The man got 3 jobs and it's not even your house. What car damages you suing him for? Is this your car?
Yes, it is my
All
car.
right. Well, tell me about this. How did he damage your car, ma'am?
He keyed my car, put 5 to 10 pounds of sugar in my gas tank.
When did he do that?
July the 7th.
Of 2012?
Yes.
Why do you think he did that?
I know he did it because the day before, when I got home from work, 10 minutes later, if I get home, my daughter comes in with her kids and some bags. She's on the phone talking to Mr. Brandon. Next thing I know, he's calling me, telling me Takesha having an asthma attack. I go out to the garage, bring her in the house, put her on the nebulizer. 3 hours later, my grandson comes and get me, tell me that, Grandma, Mimi, Mommy can't breathe, come and help. I'm like, stop playing. He's like pulling me down the steps. I go get my daughter. She's having another asthma attack 3 hours later. Mr. Brandon calls. I have my daughter in front of me, trying to watch her to see if I gotta take her to the emergency room, how I'm gonna get everybody in my car to the emergency room.
What happens?
Mr. Brandon keeps calling my house. He called like over 20 times.
To check and see about her?
I don't know.
Okay.
I told him that she had
So
another.
then what happened, ma'am?
I explained to him why she couldn't come to the phone. Then I thought he hung up. So I called him a name. He overheard me call him the name and he wanted me to apologize. I told him I wasn't apologizing for that. So he was like, okay, you're not going to apologize. I said no. Hung up again. He kept calling back. When we woke up the next morning, my car was damaged along with my mother's truck.
Okay. And you go to the police, obviously?
Yes.
Okay. You have a report?
Yes, sir.
What did they say? Take it to civil court? They said take it to civil court, or why wouldn't they prosecute him more?
They was looking for him. They said that they was going to look
And
for
did
him.
they get him?
No, they wasn't able to locate
Okay. You want
him.
me to tell him where he's at today?
I told him where he was at. My daughter had the
ahead,
GPS on her phone.
What do you want to tell me about this?
On the day in question, Your Honor, yes, I did call the house repeatedly. At the time, I was at work.
Why?
Where I did
You called the house
I called the house to
repeatedly.
check
That could
on-
be
to-
considered harassment.
to check on my girlfriend.
Okay.
As I
And
stated,
then you wanted her to come to the phone?
She was not your girlfriend.
Sir,
Yes,
you
yes,
wanted her
yes,
to
Your
come
Honor.
to the phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And she
I
told
wanted
you,
to at least know where she at.
Why
Because
didn't you
at the
go
time
over?
I was on the phone with her and
Okay.
she
why didn't
she
you go
wasn't
over?
responding.
Why didn't you go over?
Because I was at work at the time, Your Honor. I didn't get off till
all right.
midnight.
Next time, I think the employer would understand if you say my girlfriend and the mother of my children is having an asthma attack right now, and we don't know how things might turn out. If you don't mind, I need to leave. Did you ask?
No, I didn't.
All right, you should ask the employer.
Defendant Brandon Bowling is being sued by his ex-girlfriend's mother, who claims Brandon keyed her vehicle and put sugar in her gas tank.
Damaging the car. The next day, she says you damaged the car after you all had the altercation the day before. Did you?
No, sir.
All right. Ma'am, police report, anything indicate they spoke? You said they never spoke.
Right at the bottom, and here is a copy of the GPS located that my daughter had on her phone at the time, saying that he was in our neighborhood. No one else's car was damaged.
Your daughter had a GPS system on whose phone?
It's an app, yes.
On whose phone?
On her phone.
Okay, what does that have to do with him?
Because it's an app you could put on your phone to locate people, and they won't know that you're locating them. It shows
It was
that
on her phone or his phone?
she put it on her phone.
But wouldn't he
on
have to
his
have
number.
the phone? Oh, he wouldn't have to have the phone?
No.
Oh, okay. It just tells you where that phone number
and I
is
have
located.
the evidence right here.
All right, let's see it. Ma'am, I don't like your tone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, be a little more respectful.
Yes.
All right, this is how you talk. Yeah. And yeah. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you
I'm
at all.
sorry.
Right.
I'm nervous, and
Yeah.
it seems like you're not letting me get it out.
What part? Okay, I want you to get out everything you've missed. Get out everything you've missed. You accuse me of not being fair. So tell me everything that you've missed, that I've missed.
I didn't accuse you, Your Honor.
You did. When you say
I
that
just
you're,
said the
ma'am,
same-
be quiet. When you say to a judge, you're not allowing me to get everything out, that means the judge is being unfair to you. He's being biased. He will not allow you to do what you need to do to prove your case. And if that's the case, the judge is being unfair. You've accused me of being unfair, so tell me what it is I haven't allowed you to get out.
No,
Right.
Your Honor.
All right. And you have no other evidence than a GPS that you say puts him at a location. Yet the police took no action after finding this evidence that you say you have. If the police didn't take any action, neither am I. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day. Hey, man. Continue, all right? Let's get your second job, all right? You got 3. I'm proud of you. All right.
I don't have nothing to say to him.
Wish you the best.